Hi sir, our group is going to discuss about the electricity industry with the issue of fossil fuel effect on the earth. Let me introduce my group member. I am Yue Sze Yan, Nadeim, Hamirah and Yusuf. Firstly, we want to know what is fossil fuel. Fossil fuel is formed in plants and organisms passed down through ancient generation. What is the problem if we did not control the fossil fuel? Greenhouse gases will cause the global warming. Greenhouse gases, which is carbon dioxide, so it has the effect of capture the energy of sun entering the earth atmosphere to cause the global warming. In this issue, the key to protect the earth is to maintain operational continuity safely and continue to use of ICT and its potential to bring innovation to industry. So my group member will discuss more about this issue, which is problem, current solution, and the proposed system. That's all for me. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Nadeim, and I will continue from our previous slide. I will present for you the problem statement. For our problem statement is the fossil fuels used in electricity industry to generate the electricity itself. And why is this the problem? Fossil fuels like power plants will release air pollution and will require a large amount of cooling water and also affect many life. And the fossil fuels production in 2017, fossil fuels generate over 64.5% of electricity worldwide. And why use fossil fuels to generate electricity? These power plants generate electricity reliably over long periods of time and are generally cheap to build compared to other resources. In the middle is the pie chart showing the percent of fossil fuels production and why it is so dangerous. Burning carbon-based fuels produce a large amount of carbon dioxide, which drives to climate changes. And what is the other effect? These power plants also produce other pollutants such as oxides of sulfur and nitrogen, which will cause acid rain, which is very harmful. Burning fossil fuels also emits a number of air pollutants that are harmful to both the environment and public health. And other than that, wildlife and local ecosystem also affected. Across the world, the demand for electricity is colliding with the need for healthy and abundant fresh water. And more than 80% of power plant cooling water originates in lakes and rivers, which will directly impacting local ecosystem and often competing with other uses, such as agriculture and recreation. Power plants that use water will return the water back to the nearby rivers, lakes or the ocean that will surely harmful and can harm the wildlife through what is known as thermal pollution. That's all for me. Thank you.
Hello all, my name is Yusuf Ahmed Omar. My ID number is SN0105. So at this stage, current solution people our countries are using to lower their consumption of fossil fuel. There are plenty of things, but let's see here. So basically about 65% of total electricity generation in 2018 was produced from fossil fuels, which are used from coals, natural gas and petroleum. And this material that came from plants which are biomass and industrial wastes, and the gases that have been produced by this the burned fossil fuels, not all are good for atmosphere or us human beings. They have negative effects on us, and so does it has on environmental problem. So basically this chart shows us the amount of fossil fuel we use compared to the rest of the energy that we've been using for the past decades or centuries, and apparently fossil fuels has the max share of it. And here we have basically three devices or three things that help will currently countries are using to lower their consumption of fossil fuels. And at the first we have burning low sulfur content coal. So what this means is it reduces the CO2 emission. So if we use low sulfur content coal, it will lower the CO2 emissions and then you will be in a good place. And this is by pre-treating and processing coal can also reduce the level of undesirable compounds in the composition gases. And the second thing is, here we have a device, and what does this device is to check the level of composition pollution on the in the way out of the work, which one of the way is by using baghouses. And what are those baghouses? Baghouses are devices which allow them to filter the composition particles which are trapped in the bag. And there's another device we have over here, it's called wet scrubber, and this device is used to lessen the air pollution. And the purpose of this device is to use a liquid solution to remove the particulate matter from the composition
And Yue
gas.
Sze Yan. Before I explain the proposed solution, I want to talk about why the current solution is not good enough. For the first current solution is burning low sulfur content. It is not really solve the environment issue. Why I said that? Because it is using burning coal to produce the electricity. It will cause the air pollution. For the second current solution is baghouses. It also will cause the air pollution because it is using the electrically charged plate to filter the gas. For the last current solution is wet scrubber. It will cause the water pollution because they are using liquid solution to remove the particulate matter. So this solution still not the best solution for the environment. And now, let me explain the proposed solution to this issue. For this case, the proposed solution is smart electric grid. This solution can solve the environmental issue since it uses renewable energy to provide electricity. This also is a very good technology that Malaysia can implement too. What is the renewable energy for this smart electric grid use? They use the renewable energy such as hydropower, solar, and wind energy. It is more environmentally friendly source than fossil fuel power to produce the electricity. There are two ways to produce electricity. For the first one is solar power. There are also two components to help to produce the electricity. The first one is photovoltaic cell or solar cell. Then a physical reaction releases electrons when the sunlight shines on the photovoltaic cell, thereby it will generate electrical current. A small current from a single photovoltaic cell or solar cell installed in the module can power a single house. You may see the picture. The picture that shows the solar cell receive the sunlight and to produce the electricity to the single house. For the second component is solar thermal technology. It uses the sun to heat water and produce steam to drive a generator. Parabolic system use reflector to gather sunlight to heat water, thereby generate steam to drive standard turbines. For the second way is wind power. Wind power is to capture the kinetic energy in the moving wind and then transfer it to the rotor that produce electrical energy by using the large rotating plates. The area with average wind speed of more than 20 km per hour are the best wind power station. That's all for me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Hamirah Binti Kader Hussain. I will continue my presentation on proposed system advantages, why is it a better solution, and the conclusion. There are many advantages of smart electric grid. The first point is handle the groundswell of digital, computerized equipment and technology dependent. The second point is automate and manage the increasing complexity and needs of electricity in the 21st century. I'm gonna talk about the environmental benefits. Okay, the first point is the use of renewable energy source to generate electricity instead of traditional thermal power plants will lead to fossil fuel conservation and environmental improvement as a result of reducing greenhouse gases, especially emitted as a result of thermal generation. On the second point is, as for the transmission network, smart electric grid optimize the use of existing lines and substation for maximum efficiency and minimum losses. For the consumption, introducing smart meters, smart house facilities, and hybrid plug-in electric vehicles will lead to reducing GHG emissions, energy conservation, and preserving our environment. Why is it smart electric grid is a better solution? Because it is increased use of digital information and control technology to improve reliability, security, and efficiency of the electric grid. The second point is deployment and integration of advanced electricity storage and peak shaving technologies. The third point is development of standards for communication and interoperability of appliances and equipment connected to the electric grid. The fourth point is renewable energy such as wind and solar are able to produce clean and carbon-free electricity. The fifth point is although it is still limited as it depends completely on nature and weather conditions, but it is more safer than the current solution. And the last point is applying smart electric grid technologies can potentially reduce carbon dioxide emissions because burning fuels result in the production of carbon dioxide, primary heat trapping, greenhouse gas responsible for global warming. As for the conclusion part on the fossil fuel power plants, it has the most widespread effect on the environment as the combustion process produces airborne pollutants that spread over a wide area. And it is also cause environmental problems such as land and water use, air emissions, thermal release, climatic and visual impacts from cooling towers, solid waste disposal, ash disposal for coal, and noise. The third point is the biggest effect fossil fuel plants have overall emission of air pollutants. The fourth point is carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, and the hydrocarbons are the greenhouse gas believed to be responsible for global warming. And the last point for the fossil fuel power plants is sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide produce acid when released into the atmosphere, leading to the production of acid rain. Let's move on to the nuclear power plants. It has the most potentially dangerous effect, and it is also an operating accident at a nuclear station could allow a large release of radioactive particles to occur. It is very dangerous. And for the overall conclusion is all energy conversion methods used to produce electricity have environmental impact. Either it is renewable energy or non-renewable energy. But renewable energy have smaller effect on the environment. Thank you. Before I end my presentation, I hope that one day we could implement this technology which is smart electric grid to the whole world so that our environment of the earth will be better and safer. That's all from our group. Thank you.